Hey TCTC, this is David Springer. I'm the chairman for TCTC 2025, and I am super excited because we are continuing the conversations that we're having with our elective leaders, and today I am joined by Dr. Josh Little. Dr. Josh Little, he is a professor and the director of ministry leadership at Milligan University. I about said Milligan Bible College.
It's all good. It's okay.
I still do with Johnson,
great to be here
too.
with you. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to do this. I know you are in Texas right now, right?
I am on a family vacation for Thanksgiving, kids running around, pool in the background, excited for a little bit of breathing room, but excited to be here with you guys.
Yeah. Thank you for taking time to join in on this. I know everybody's really excited to have you. We had a board meeting before this. We had some Milligan guys there, and they were excited to have you speaking there. And I know you're gonna do an awesome job. And I've just your title, The Art of Sharing Your Testimony. It's like you've put some work into this. You know what you're talking about with all of that. We'll dig into a little bit. Can you share a little bit about your background, your family,
Sure.
how you grew up, and your faith, a little bit about your faith, or how you ended up at Milligan, any of that type of stuff? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I did not grow up in the church. I came to faith in high school at a church called Plainfield Christian Church in Plainfield, Indiana. And I was chasing a girl to church and ended up meeting Jesus. The girl and I didn't work out, but I got a whole vocation and whole life of faith as a result. So
much better.
Totally, so much better. But really at that church, I just experienced the love and compassion of Jesus through people. And up to that point, I had like an idea of what I wanted to do vocationally, but I was at a CIY my junior going into senior year at Milligan. And I just had this like profound experience, this call to ministry as I was sitting in the back of our chapel, Seeger Chapel. And so ended up pivoting, and I decided to study ministry at Milligan, attended Milligan, had a great experience, got connected to a church called First Christian Church in Johnson City, and I was doing youth ministry there. Started doing youth ministry in 2007. And I was there for about 8 years, did middle school ministry and high school ministry, loved it, had a great experience. And then I ended up moving to Ohio in 2015. I was a campus minister and then an executive pastor at a church south of Cleveland. And so did that for about 8 years, and then answered the call back to Milligan to lead our ministry leadership program, which is like our undergrad program that trains and equips students that are interested in vocations in ministry or missions. So been back here for about 2 years. Love it. It's been so much fun getting to spend time with our college students and train them and equip them for ministry. But I'm married to my wife, Becky. We have 2 girls, Elsie, who's 8, and Avery, who's 5. So they've been fully immersed in ministry since they were born. So
A girl dad, huh?
Total girl dad.
Awesome.
If I had hair, it would be braided. I don't. But nails painted, the whole nine. But
That's awesome.
It's been great.
Sounds like you have done all types of ministries. You've been like just youth, executive, campus, college age. You've ran the board with all of those.
I'm trying to hit all the bingo slots. Right.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. And that sometimes that can prepare you for stuff that you don't even realize, which is
right.
is really cool. Do you have any background with TCT? Like, have you been to TCTC? What's your background with that conference?
Yeah, TCTC was when I was a youth pastor. I mean, it was our students' favorite conference that we attended. So we would bring groups, First Christian, middle school, high school groups. We'd stay in some hotel rooms or a cabin and had a blast. So yeah, I think I've been to maybe 10 TCTCs and had so much fun with every group that we brought. So we've loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had the same experience. I've taken a bunch of different churches from a bunch of different groups, and I've never gone to TCTC with a group and been like, "Ah, man, that just wasn't it this year." It's like,
Yeah.
no, man, it's awesome. It feels like it's been great every year. Um, you're one of our elective leaders, and you're gonna be specifically talking about your building testimony and sharing your testimony. It
Mhm.
sounds like you've got a great, strong testimony, probably something that you have given many times over over the years between youth and preaching and speaking at chapels and things
Mhm.
like that. And so, what do you think of as far as uh, giving your testimony? Why do you think that's important for teens to be able to do?
Yeah. I whether a student is wanting to study vocational ministry, whether they're wanting to be a worship pastor or a preacher or a youth minister, or they're wanting to be a Christian who is a counselor or a teacher or a business person, the reality is your testimony, how Jesus has changed your life, is one of the most powerful spiritual tools you have at your disposal. It just is. Every one of us, regardless of what our testimony is, we have a story that's unique to us of how Jesus has changed our life. And what I found is a lot of times students, they feel nervous about trying to figure out how to share how Jesus and the church has made an impact in their life. But the reality is they're surrounded by tons and tons and tons of people in their classrooms, on the ball field, in their neighborhoods, sometimes even in their family, who don't know Jesus. And so in this class, what we're trying to do is to help students kind of understand and appreciate their own testimony, how Jesus has changed their life, to be able to like write that down and then be able to share that with some other people so they can gain some confidence when that time comes, that they're able to say, hey, this is how Jesus has impacted my life. So that's our hope with the elective, is just that students understand and they appreciate how God's worked in their life, and that they're equipped with the tools they need to be able to share that with their classmates and their teammates and their family members. Because really, we believe that there's tons and tons of people who don't know Jesus, and God wants to use them to reach them.
Yeah. Beautiful. And when you think about the Christian faith, so much of our faith is just based on people's testimony. The entire New Testament, and when
Yep.
you're looking at why do we believe and stuff, it's based on a lot of testimony and regular people, regular students, regular young people, old people, big figures and small, what we would call small figures in the Bible.
Mhm.
So much of it is just giving their testimony and allowing people to hear their story and why
Mhm.
God has changed their life. And I think that's so important. It's so
Mhm.
important, and I think that's probably how most people end up learning about Christ, is through other people's testimony like that.
Yeah, that was, I mean, in a lot of ways, my interest was piqued in Jesus because I had some friends around me that loved me and loved Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's how, a lot of times, that's how people come to faith, is through people.
Yeah.
It's through God speaking through people. So
Definitely.
yeah, we're really excited about it, and think that if we can get middle school and high school students to appreciate their stories and be just equipped and being able to share their stories, it could make a really big impact for the kingdom.
Yeah. And by what I understand about this, some of your goals for this would be for students to come into this and they will walk out kind of with their test, like knowing
Right.
how to write down their testimony, knowing what their testimony is. Because I would say there's a lot of students out there that might be listening to this that go, what do you mean my testimony?
Right.
I grew up at church. What do you even mean by that?
Right.
My guess is you're going to have some questions and some things that are going to help them to see how God, thinking of like Hansel and Gretel, the stones back to home, is like, how do I follow those stones back to home? And
That's
so,
right. No, it's totally right. Yeah, because most times we don't have the space to like look back and see God's faithfulness throughout our life.
yeah.
Like all the little moments, whether you
Yep.
grew up in church or didn't, whatever your stories looked like, the truth is your story will will have the potential to impact another person
Yeah.
and their story. And so, yeah, that's our hope, is that students can take the time to kind of answer some questions about, how have I seen God faithful when I was a kid, and what was my relationship with the church, growing up, and what do I think, God's calling me towards, and being able to like write that down, and even just in a practice way, share that with some others. Our hope is it gives students the confidence to be able to do it in real life.
Yeah. Yep, I love it. One of my good missionary friends always says, I'm not just a missionary. Everybody's a missionary. And this is
That's
going to
right.
be a huge step for them to know, how do I even do that in my homes and stuff like that. So you've been to TCTC many times, it sounds like. Other than your elective, other than the elective time, which I know is, I'm sure you're excited about, and excited to get in front of the students and get them working on this, send them out to share their testimony. What other part of TCTC this year are you excited about experiencing?
Oh man, TCTC, it's so dynamic. I mean,
Hmm.
the worship has always been so impactful for me, being in services or TCTC in the sessions. Um, I think that the thing that I enjoyed the most as a youth pastor for years was watching after sessions, kind of like faith-filled conversations happen, like all throughout the convention center, seeing small group leaders kind of circle up, or having kind of next steps faith conversations with students. Um, I think that TCTC is like such a great catalyst that starts a conversation, and then outside of the sessions, being able to see the small group leaders and youth ministers be able to have some of those conversations that a lot of times during the year we just don't have, because we're busy and life just moves,
Yep.
because we have the time away from responsibility and just normal rhythms, so we have some time just to talk and think. I think God uses that for some of the most impactful spiritual moments for students' lives.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to, is just being able to hear some of the stories of students that are processing things in their life and what Jesus is trying to tell them
Yeah.
as a result of the sessions.
I love it. I love it. The life change and the experience. You could pack a whole year worth of Wednesday nights into one weekend when you're with
That's
each
right.
other for
Yep.
3 days. So that's awesome. I love it. Now, is there anything personally that you'd like to plug, or you'd like for them to check out before they come, or while they're there? Or what would you want them to know about you and about your elective, or about Milligan?
Yeah, Milligan is a wonderful place. And I know I'm biased, but it is. Milligan is a Christian college. It's got over 100 different majors and minors. So students that are wanting to study engineering or nursing or business or counseling, they can find a home at Milligan. And so if that is you, I would definitely encourage you to drop by the Milligan table at TCTC. You'll meet some students there, and I'll be hanging around there a little bit. Love to talk with you. If you're listening to this and you're interested in ministry or missions, I would definitely encourage you to check out the ministry leadership program that we have at Milligan. We try to supplement the classroom. That's great, with all sorts of experiences for students to be able to grow and discern in their call. We take trips all around the country to expose our students to different kinds of ministries and churches, and our students do semester-long internships in Maryland at this amazing church, and you're mentored by ministry leaders that are in the trenches of ministry today. So if you're interested in ministry or missions, I would encourage you, in addition to dropping by the table, to check out our website, milligan.edu/MLP. And on there, you'll get to see all sorts of stuff about our program, scholarships, all those things. And you can connect with me via email, and love to answer any questions you got. But
Perfect.
definitely come by and see us at TCTC.
Yep, stop by their booth. We'll have a bunch of booths out there. It's
Yep.
worth taking the time to go back through there and meet people, talk with them. I know a lot of people that went to Milligan. Great place to go and learn about your trade, but also to grow with the Lord. And so that's amazing. Dr. Josh, thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us today, and I can't wait. We're under 7 weeks now. So
Let's go.
it's
go.
coming. It's coming. So I'm really excited about it. If you're interested in this elective, make sure you join us at TCTC. Make sure you go to Josh's elective. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to leave ready to tell people, better prepared to tell people about the Lord, and I'm really excited about that. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a great trip back with family.
Thanks, David. I appreciate it.